Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Miguel.
And Michelle.
And today we're going to talk about Golem.
Golem?
Not Golem. Not Golem.
Golem?
Not Golem from Lord of the Rings. It's Golem.
Golem?
Yeah.
As in goalie?
The rock clay figure from ancient history. An elemental, if you will. One of the four major elements in alchemy.
So Golem.
Golem. Anyway, so we're going to take a look at my version of Golem. And so this is a creature that people don't realize how much gets a lot of mainstream representation, but people don't often look towards this creature as something major, because there isn't just one special golem, except maybe in folklore. You probably may heard of the lesser known, the ancient golem of Prague. For those of you who remember your nursery rhymes, such as the gingerbread man, that tale was actually derived from a more ancient version that probably didn't use the word gingerbread, but some kind of clay boy, like the legend of the clay boy or something like that. They just use gingerbread as a sort of like modern take for kids of the present day to understand. But if you don't remember, basically this chef, or sometimes a father figure, kind of similar to like Pinocchio, where he always wanted a son, so he concocted this idea to create a live boy out of clay, or in modern versions, gingerbread. And as the phrase goes, "Oh, you can't catch me, I'm the gingerbread man." In the more ancient original version, the boy is basically a misbehaved boy. You know, he gets spoiled, so he runs around town and he needs to be fed, but then the father forgets to feed him, so he eats the neighbor's goat or something like that, depending on the version.
Why is
And
it always
eventually,
a goat?
well, because it's an old village tale.
Poor goat.
So the guy that the father has to chase down this boy, and so, oh, you can't catch me, because yeah. So that's the more prominent, more relatable story if you're not familiar with where the golem came from. But if you play today's video games or watch shows, TV shows, the golem takes on either form. Two different forms of the golem. One being more elemental, relating to the earth, because it's an earth elemental. It's portrayed most likely as a rock formation, a humanoid rock or clay creature, sometimes disguised as a human, because they were slaves. They can be controlled. They're like robotic slaves, or clay, made out of clay. So in my version, it's a more typical fantasy RPG kind of creature. Of, if you've seen a show like The Order, for example, on Netflix, there is a character there that's essentially a golem, a dead character, but then the skin of the character gets used to disguise and pretend to be human, but it's actually a golem, so it's not a real human being, but kind of resembles that character. So again, another version where it's not so much related to the earth elements, but used as sort of a slave. So yeah, nothing much to say there. My version is just like any other rock creature.
I like the various shape formations, so it's not completely randomized, like rocks put together. Like it is like a form that you designed around the creature. So, and I really do like the little like glow that you added to it, so to indicate it does have some sort of light force. Like And he looks a little happy.
Yeah, because the line formation just happens to look like a smiling mouth.
It's a little creepy, just, maybe a little longer, gotta make a bigger smiley face. I think it's kind of endearing. Sometimes when you think of creatures that look like this, they can be a little bit scary or frightening. The idea of a gingerbread man is already frightening, so my curiosity is like, what was considered the lesson for that story? Is it the lesson for the adults or for the child?
It's similar to Pinocchio. Some folklore historians would attribute Pinocchio as a derivative of the golem tale, or the golem myth. And then the gingerbread man is also another version of that. And I guess the lesson there is how to be a real boy. So sort of like a coming of age hero's journey of good behavior, and or what happens if you misbehave, then you're not really a real boy, you're some kind of golem. Like you're just an empty shell. As I've explained before, golems can also be portrayed as a human being, but not really. They're just an empty shell being used by magic So I could have used some ordinary person or a knight or some kind of what you would think like, oh, this is like some kind of folklore here. Like actually, no, it's not real. It's actually a golem. And I would create maybe sort of like duality, like a half human, half made out of clay, or hinting that it's just made out of clay. Anyway, this is what it is, just a typical rock man giant.
Let us know in the comments down below. Do you think you could hurt this poor little guy? I'm just kidding.
Probably not. I don't think you could win unless you're a bigger golem. But anyway, let us know. What do you think?
Alright, well then we'll see you in the next video. Bye!